This video starts, I just want to say that this is an album that was sent in on a music request stream by a viewer, and I just wanted to make this video to highlight how great this album is. This is someone with so few monthly listeners. This is someone who didn't have any ratings on Album of the Year, and this album blew me and my chat away to such a degree that I felt like I needed to make this video to get at least a little bit more exposure on this guy. Link to the Album of the Year page for this album, as well as the album itself on Tidal, will be in the description of this video. Definitely go give it a listen if you haven't, if you like what you hear in this video. Also, of course, thank you to Chivo for editing this. Link to his Album of the Year will be in the description as well. And with that being said, enjoy the video. Alright, Sam came out this year, 10 tracks, 34 minutes. Let's do this. Track 1, The Trailhead. Yeah, he says, I found your channel recently and figured I'd send this in as you might get some enjoyment from it. We will see. Oh, damn. Hell of a transition. Wow. Really kicking the door down with that opener. Fuck me. Sounded fucking gorgeous. I'm feeling like a solid 8 on that as an opener. That was just some great ambient adjacent sounding like post-rock there. That was fantastic, the way that kind of ramped itself up into something as abrasive and as harsh as the back half of that track was, especially where we kicked off with just the guitar and the wispy backing vocals. The song on the whole has a very like ghostly presence. Everything feeling kind of dead, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, the opener was fucking fantastic. Again, those guitar tones are beautiful. Absolutely adore those, again, wispy backing vocals. I like how many interesting textural elements there are thrown in here, like the cymbal swells, that very distorted synth that gave it a nice rougher texture in the left channel when that came in. Everything kind of just coming together to create something that feels like it's scratching all of the right itches in my brain. We continue. Scout away. Now this feels kind of Phil Elverum influenced. That percussion feels very the microphones. Oh, 100% Phil Elverum influence. Holy shit. Fucking amazing, yeah. It's able to emulate a lot of like more underground 2000s indie stuff. Someone sent this in. Yeah, this is Dag Hill sent this in himself. Everything was recorded in your bedroom. Holy shit. So you have that first track that's like a nice bit of ambient post-rock. And then it's followed up by like an indie folk sounding track, very reminiscent of the microphones, with lots of these very natural sounds in here, lots of the scrapes, the water dripping at the end, the way the percussion is utilized for a lot more than just a standard drum beat as well. The vocal recording as well. It feels so much like the exact type of vocal mixing, and even the way it's recorded, it reminds me so much of Phil Elverum. And I feel like the song does a good job at still separating itself from being just a knockoff of the microphones. The song does so much in the way of giving itself such a more youthful personality, making itself feel a lot more heady as well. I think that I'm fucking blown away by this, dude. Like, this is some of the best music that like somebody has made that they've sent in themselves. This is wild. It's a low 9 for me. Scattered Away is yeah, a great fucking indie folk song that is able to evoke a lot of pretty powerful emotion just through its incredibly simplistic instrumental, from just how loud this mix gets and how incredible the production with all of these other added sounds in are. Everything here just feels so meticulous and the imagery is so fucking vivid here. I am loving this. Some good shit. Your goodbyes. Oh, that's not all that's like setup right there. The whole ass setup in the fucking bedroom. Fair enough. You get the follow. Seeing that home setup in a post was enough to make me want to follow. It's just an interesting setup. Last year in June, damn. October. Over a year. Paid off. Sounds amazing. Synths kind of swell there, holy shit. Wow. Holy shit, man. That explosion at the end. Wow. Fucking hell. The fact that this was recorded with the setup it was recorded with is impressive as hell. It sounds so clean. Like, you don't get too much, like, noticeable bleed. You don't get too much of, like, the instruments clashing at all. Everything sounds, like, still very intimate in its recording. I don't know, it still is able to have a very large sound. I guess mostly due to how, like, fucking incredible this mix is, which I'm guessing is a big thing you would have slaved over with this, is just getting the production down, because that is what's really making this for me, is how good this shit sounds. A lot of stuff like this can have, like, a great song ruined by, you know, just someone who doesn't really know how to record all that well, someone who doesn't really know how to get a mix right for this style of music, but you've got that down so perfectly. I don't know, who was this mixed by? Does it say? Oh, it says Ada Moore for everything, damn. So if it was just that same person mixing it, then you really have such a great understanding of what makes a more intimate sound like this work, and how to make it sound bigger than it is, than it would be during the recording stage, how to make it feel larger than life and bombastic in a moment like the closing moments of this track, where it's able to so seamlessly go from something that feels so emotional, something that feels so personal and close, into this expansive, larger-than-life explosion at the end. I think that Your Goodbyes is one of the best examples of how good the production side of this album is so far. This is impressive as all hell. That's like a high 8 to a flat 9 for me, like an 8.9. Good shit. Trailer thoughts. Love the pulse of this track. Having that just roaring the floor kick here, matched with that
Is it still there and still
These songs have like the strongest endings ever. You close all of them with such fucking powerful little tags at the end. Can post rock have normal songs? Post rock doesn't have to be like mega expansive, super long shit. Like there's plenty of post rock track, like Talk Talk for example, have like 5-minute post rock songs. I'd say it's more difficult to make a shorter post rock song though because of like what post rock is, you know. It's far easier for them to be like a lot longer simply due to how much building they need to do on their original concepts and ideas. But yeah, Trail of Thoughts is the strongest of the bunch so far in my opinion. I like that it starts off in such a small, compact place, just this nice, simple, clean guitar loop. The incredible pulse of this track just kind of being led by this 4 on the floor kick being matched with that shaker. I'm assuming it's like a tambourine or something like that. Before it just suddenly kicks into high gear and we are just swept away by this incredible just cacophony of sounds, all of these crazy guitar tones being thrown into the mix, the beautiful synths, the nice chimes that are thrown in there. I love how beautiful the melodic percussive elements of that track are. When those, it sounded, I don't know if it was like a glockenspiel or something like that, but there were these nice chiming sounds that gave it just these bursts of light that really enhanced the mix in my opinion. Stuff like that just adds so many interesting textures and pieces of imagery to the album and that song in particular. I've said that after every song. I'm so fucking impressed. This is so good. Haunted Mask. Pink Floyd reference. It's Time by Pink Floyd. Haunted Mask. I love the desperation on display in that song towards the end there, particularly begging this person to let down the mask, stop hiding, because I'm guessing it's coming from a position of worry kind of overtaking you, and I guess kind of losing the person that you thought you knew. That's what I get from that, at least, like being scared of losing this person and kind of going into a state of panic, wanting them to, you know, take off the haunted mask that they're wearing and let themselves be themselves again so that you don't lose that connection. And that panic that is portrayed through the vocals at the end there, and the way that it's matched by the instrumental ramping itself up at the end, seriously, like the sudden eruption that this song kind of experiences was like like anxiety inducing. It was seriously so fucking well executed. The sense of patience on this album, the way that the explosive moments are saved for just when they're necessary in each and every single one of these songs, the way they come in at just the perfect point is astonishing, dude. I don't really have any like big negatives with the album so far. Not that I can think of. I seriously can't think of a particular thing I have wrong with this. For an album that's like just made in a bedroom by two guys, this is... I'm fucking blown away. I am seriously, legitimately, like... I could not be more happy with like what I'm being presented here. 8.7 for that one. Holy shit. Memory Passage. Like, I'm trying to think, and I there's not really any, like, issues at all. This is just smooth sailing, man. The only thing I could see, like, maybe being an issue would be the vocals, but I feel like it's more capturing the authenticity of, like, indie music, where the vocals feel unprocessed, they feel very raw. Not every note is perfect, and I think that adds to the character of the album. What are they doing? I'm gonna let this play out. Memory Passage is a great interlude. Similar to the first song, it's just a nice ambient post-rock instrumental that, again, ramps up in tension beautifully. The way it swells is so fucking overwhelming. Good shit. 8.5 out of 10. Good interlude. Burn Memories. Jeez, how many fucking instruments do you have access to in your bedroom? You got drum kit, guitars. I'm assuming there's been bass as well. I've not really picked up on any particular bass lines, but there's probably been bass. Marimba, fucking sounds like a slide whistle. Kalimba, not marimba, sorry. Have a whole bucket of children percussion. That's kind of fucking fire. Is it progressive folk? It's definitely indie folk. Some tracks feel a little post-rock. I guess indie rock would apply as well. And folk rock. I don't know about progressive necessarily. Is this the Glow Part 3? It's incredibly Phil Elverum influenced. I guess, okay. I'd say the only problem I could see having with this album is that it's so very Phil Elverum influenced that I could see some people kind of seeing this as ripping off. I don't personally think it is. It feels like it has the same essence as a Microphones album, a little Quadeca as well. That's an excellent point. The vocals do feel a little Quadeca, especially on Burn Memories there. I don't personally see this as ripping off. I think it has enough of its own style. It's obviously wearing its influences on its sleeve heavily. But, I don't know, I could definitely see some people maybe taking issue with the fact that this is pretty heavily inspired by Phil Elverum work, not just with the Microphones, obviously with like Mount Eerie as well. Burn Memories, just a great display of how many resources you have, you know, at your side to use like instruments as obscure as a fucking slide whistle. It sounded like for like having this train sound throughout the song, the kalimba adding like a nice, I don't know, more wooden feeling to the song. That's the way I would describe what the kalimba does to that track. It feels very wooden in a good way. There's something about it that just feels so cozy and home-like, and I fucking absolutely love that texture being thrown into the song. I'm kind of stumped for things to say. All of these tracks are like great for a lot of the same reasons. I think that song, again, is a great display of just how many fucking resources you have in your arsenal. Just like throwing out just these random kids' instruments and having them work, having them create a track. Oh, it's called Burned Memories as well. Kind of gives it a nostalgic feeling, I suppose. Grandfather Clock. Yeah, Grandfather Clock has one of the best explosive moments on the entire album. I absolutely fucking love the way that just sweeps over the song. Like, just like that, we're all of a sudden in this massive cavernous space. That incredible, I think it was a recorder, being matched with just how bright and blinding a lot of the sounds here are. That's what it feels like to me, at least. It feels like a fucking blinding light shining down on this song, where it's so unrelenting in how loud and overwhelming it gets, but it still has that very welcoming, inviting feeling. It doesn't pull any punches, but that doesn't mean it can't still be soft. That doesn't mean it can't still feel so home-like and so nostalgic. I'd give that like a flat 9. I give that song a flat 9. I don't think it's the strongest on the album, but I still think it's up there as one of the strongest. So good. Your Flames, down to the final two. I'm trying to think of like 4 albums I've been sent in by users. We've been sent in a couple of Michael Poggioli albums. Is that how I say his name? Is that how, he told me how to say his name because I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Michael Poggioli. Been sent in 2 of Ryan K's albums. I've been sent in a handful of viewer albums. I can't remember all of them. This is up there with one of the strongest. I remember really enjoying Michael Poggioli's albums. That I think he sent me 2. I remember liking the Ryan K album, both of the Ryan K albums that I got sent in a decent bit. This is a contender for the strongest. In terms of like people sending me in their own shit. Who else has sent me in like full albums that they've made? The Chase the Crow EP actually was really good. That's not an album, but that EP was fucking amazing. You sure you have the means to make her an album right now? I'd love to be involved in making an album. I wouldn't like to do a whole album myself, but like to be a session drummer for an album, dude, that'd be so good. That's the dream right there. What is that? Those little stabs in the back, is that how... Fucking hell. Is that keys? Or is that a stringed instrument? I can't tell. Frying pans? What, are you just like tapping it? It's a very like subtle sound to get out of frying pans. How much do you have to feel like stories which is difficult? Yeah, that's why I'm saying I couldn't make my own album. I would love to be involved in the making of an album, but I could not make my own album, you know? I would like to be a piece of the puzzle, not the person making the puzzle. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still going to respect the hell out of anybody who's able to have a full, complete body of work that they themselves are proud of, you know? Because A, it's far better than I've done, and B, I don't even know the half of how difficult that is. I have an idea in my head, but I can only imagine it's even more difficult than I can do. How much time goes into it? Like, this is a project that took over a year with so many changes and shit. You know? Getting some actual strings in here? Holy shit. It's like fucking biggest budget sounding fucking bedroom album ever. Holy shit, the string arrangement making it feel epic as all hell. So this is going to need another listen, just unbroken. These transitions feel like they're imperative to the flow of the album, and I'm disrupting that. So that means everyone watching needs to give the album another listen unbroken for it to be fair. Your Flames is another absolutely delightful track. I will say this song doesn't feel like it quite has that same emotional swelling feeling that some of the other songs had. I will say this is probably of the bunch the weakest up to this point, but it still gets an 8.3. I think that the inclusion of something like the strings towards the back half makes it feel incredibly epic in those final moments. I think that guitar loop is absolutely fucking beautiful. The way you're incorporating sounds like a fucking frying pan to get that those nice like stabs in the background, very subtle but absolutely fucking gorgeous. Even this album's weakest moment is still great. Still gets an 8.3 from me. The only thing I will say it like goes against it is just the fact that I think that other songs do the emotional swell a little better, and it makes this one feel a little smaller by comparison. But were I to be sent that in a vacuum, that probably would get like a higher score. It's just in comparison to the rest of the album, it's a low 8. But on its own, that might get a higher score. Final song. We are already at the end, ladies and gentlemen. This album flew by. I know it's only 34 minutes, but we spent a decent amount of time talking about it, and it fucking flew by. Final track, Breaking Away. An almost 7-minute song. Let's see if it can stick the landing. All this time you led me through the dark corridor of things you didn't mention. No closure for my heart. Maybe it was bad timing for us, but deep down you can't be. Yeah, it feels like he's like laying all of the cards out on the table here for this final song. Back half's gonna have to do some pretty insane shit for it to get a 10, but I will say it's cruising in like the low 9 range for me right now. The way that guitar line descends, holy shit. If Michael Jura was happy with that group. Oh, that bass. Oh, man. Just completely filling up the low end there. Feeling a high 9. The album does end on its strongest moment. Holy shit. Wow. That back half was fucking immaculate. Oh my god. Just going full post-rock with this great looping instrumental that just reaches such a gargantuan climax that left me fucking dumbfounded. I'm speechless. This is like a strong contender for the best song that like someone has sent in that they've made themselves. Fuck me. This is like someone recording shit in their bedroom, and this is like better than most of the professional shit that I have to listen to, that I get sent in. Firstly, the album on the whole is probably going to land itself in like my top 20 of the year. I was about to say of the decade. It's not pushing it a little bit there. It's going to land itself within like my top 20 of the year. And you get a song like this to close it off that's this incredible blend of indie folk, this incredible blend of post-rock that reaches such massive highs, that has some of the best production I've heard on an indie album all year. Like, there's nothing I can do but sit here and fucking give this shit a round of applause. That song was fucking immaculate. This whole album's great. I don't have any big problems with this thing. Do I think that every song here is like fucking 10 out of 10 perfect? No. But I think every song here is great. I think this is such a fantastic display, especially for like a first proper full album. I'm guessing, how long was this? So yeah, this is an EP. It's an EP. As a first full-length album, you have just put all of your cards on the table and established that you can create something that is on par with like some of my favorite albums of the year. This is an indie release recorded in a bedroom that wears his influences on his sleeve. Normally, that would result in some derivative bullshit that I sit here and listen to and I go, hey, it's an okay display of talent, but you need to, you know, iron out a lot of the kinks. No, this sounds professional as fuck. The resources you have at your side allow this thing to sound so expansive and so massive, despite how simplistic a lot of the actual instrumentals are themselves. It's the production and the mixing that makes this feel as big as it does. This album is mixed to fucking perfection. Like, for indie releases like this, for especially first-time albums, I don't know if you've released anything under any other names. If this is your first album you've ever made, then that's, like, wild. But for a first album from an artist, I have to, like, sit here and say that when it's produced this well, especially if it's self-produced, like, I have to just throw my hands up and say you are simply better. This is I think this is the best album that I've been sent in that someone made themselves. Quite handily. I've been sent in some great albums. Again, the Ryan K album, was it, not Aimless Daydream? I forget the name of the album. The Ryan K album was great. Michael Poggioli's stuff is great. This feels like we were already here with those albums, and now we've, like, gone outside the frame of the camera. This is crazy shit. This is fucking amazing. 89. I think that's a good score. An 89 is about what I would give this. It's crazy that, like, there are people that watch my channel who make better music than a lot of the albums that are, like, super professional that I listen to. Of the albums we've listened to today, I think that's, like, the second best, only beaten out by the fucking Velvet Underground. And even then, it's a 4-point difference. Yeah, thank you so much for sending that in. Yeah, that's the most impressive, like, viewer-submitted album I've ever gotten. Yeah, thank you so much for sending that in. You know, if you ever need any demos listened to, I'm your guy. I'm always being sent in demos. I don't know. Listen, I'm just impressed as hell by that. That was fucking fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. If that is your starting point, I cannot wait to see where it goes. Pretty fantastic shit. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you've given it a listen, let me know what you think of this album down below in the comments. Check out the album if you haven't. Again, link in the description, as well as the link to Chivo's album of the year. Thank you again to him for editing this video. And yeah, I'll see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye.